Hello. This is a review of the class point. Notice here I have a friend, OStream. It's a reference. This is the actual function. That's it. Notice it compiles even like this. Press the compile button. I draw it like this though. Here's an input parameter we call out. Could call it moose. I don't even need the name here because this is just a prototype that identifies to class that anything that looks like this is our friend. And it could be in the private section. Notice it's up here in private. Or it could be down in the public section. Has no effect. It's basically telling us who our friends are. I need the friend. Alright, so here we have our CTOR's point, our default constructor. And I set x equal to 0, y equal to 0. And this symbol is going to be used later on. Again, it's sort of like the word give. Like it would be great if I could put the word give right here, which means give x 0, give y 0. Give x the value a, give y the value b, give x the value p dot x, and give y, this is like the word and give y p dot y. In fact, let's change that to the word and. Wouldn't that look better? I like that. I'm going to show you how powerful C++ might be. I'm going to use a directive called define, and I'll say every time you see the word give, replace it with the colon. Every time you see the word and, little and, replace it with the comma. Now, let's see if this new programming language we kind of made inside C++ works. I hope. It didn't like and. I wonder why. Oh, cannot be used as a macro name. What if I say capital A and D? Capital A and D. Capital A and D. And capital A and D. And voila! Voila! So now I'm saying point x, point, a default point, give x 0 and give y 0. Point, if you give me an a and a b, give the a to x and give the b to y. Look at this. This is not part of C++. We just put that in there. How? This is a preprocessor directive. The preprocessor is a computer program that comes before the compiler. Up here, line 1 and 2. These are preprocessor directives. They say go out and get the file called IOStream, which is a header file, and paste it right here. After that, paste in the header file called CMath. And we have all the prototypes. So now my program runs, compile, run. And this is what we have in class. If this looks too small, right click, properties, go to font. I usually pick council because it looks better. Pick a larger size. If I still don't like it, properties, font, pick an even larger size out. That's still terrible, isn't it? We'll try one more. Oh, what the heck. 28. Much better. That's interesting. Get rid of this file. Point. That's my active project. Oh, that's right. Moose and Jets. That's it down there. So, I don't really want to use this, but you're happy to. This is sort of the craziness of C++. Now I have to put everything back to its normal syntax. You could use any words you like as long as it's not already in the language, like little a and d. And this is much more normal. Alright, moving on. Here we have our mutators. Notice I leave a space, that is I group things. Here I have my output function. And I can give it, this can be any output stream. This could even be a file later. Doesn't have to be cout. Alright, and there's our operator. And again, because I made it a friend, I can do this. If it's not a friend, for example, excuse me. Now if I compile this, it should complain. It's complaining simply because these things are private. And our solution is to simply say get x, get y, and now we have wonderful safety and everything works fabulously. Another program I set up for now, because I know I'm not going to be in, is this thing here. It's another class. I call this an animal. Animals have a name, animals have a status, and I have some worker function here, which I'll explain. Here's a new technique. Instead of using constants, this will not be on a test, you can define your own data set, your own data types. It's enumerated. It just means to list them. So I say sleep is my first, instead of a constant, I say sleep, capital S-L-E-P, equals 0, and it will start at 0. Hungry will be number 1, playing will be 2, fighting will be 3, hiding will be 4. If I want, I can make this 99 and it would start there. And if I like, I can start playing at another number, 10,000. So these things should compile. So sleep will be 99, hunger will be 100, playing will be 1,000, fighting 1,001, hiding 1,002. Or I could say I really don't care what numbers are put there. I just want to use the word sleep, hungry, playing, fighting, hiding, and whatever else you want to make up. There's the keyword enum. There's the name of my variable status. So I have an animal. It has a status. It has a name. Notice it's a string. It has this is a private function. The problem is when I want to find out what the animal's doing, this is actually a number. See, sleep equals 0. Hunger is 1. And notice, for those who might be curious, it has the scope resolution operator. It's telling us inside this creature status, if I go inside, playing is equal to the number 2. I'll even have fool around go back to this since the machine is very cooperative. Compile the program again so I get to see those numbers. There, as I foretold. Notice the typing error up here, I knocked out the G, gave me an error down here. Which brings us to this function I built. It's a private function. Why is it private? Look here, it's in the private section. That means normally no one gets to use this, except my functions in the public area get to use the private stuff, but no one else. So here inside animal I have status string. It doesn't change anything. It says take a look at my animal's current status. Is it sleep? Then show me the word sleeping. If the status is hungry, show me the word hungry. If it's playing, show me the word playing. Notice I have to manually convert this to a string. You have no choice here. Some languages like C#, when you set up these types, you just use a string right off the bat. So you don't have to do the conversion. You already typed it in. That is, with other languages, you just do this. At first it feels a little funny doing that, but you get the hang of it. So now when I say what's my animal doing, I use the status string and it will tell me what it is doing, or it'll tell me unknown, it couldn't find it. Also take a look at animal. Animal says what is its N for name, unknown. What's its status? I'm assuming it's asleep. Notice I have default variables. When all the default variables are defined like this, you automatically get the default constructor too. So that means you can use a blank, you have the blank constructor. And give N to name and give S to status. Now here's a nice and weird little piece. I'm going to give, here's my constructor to make a copy of an animal. You say you give me another animal P. I'll take that, its name and its status, and I'm going to give it to the constructor animal right up here. I can call my own constructor to help out. That's kind of cool. Now here's where things get crazy. Because I wrote this, I don't need to say this. However, if I say this equals cout, then automatically here at line 47, this will automatically be displayed on the console. But look at what I can do right inside the function call. Because this is really, it's not a number. It's a creature that's an output stream. This thing is an output stream. This whole thing is an output stream. So if I compile and run this program, you get to see animal world, moose, show me the moose, but right above it, it'll say, oh no, this crazy, oh no, this is crazy, oh no, this is crazy, unknown is sleeping. And then I see the cow. Why is that so? Because moose will cut this out. Basically, look at it. I mean, think of it that way. This is getting cut out. And it goes in here instead of cout. That whole thing pops in there, which goes right here. Pop. So you end up with this thing. This is where it skips a line. And you get this crazy crazy screen. This is what's a little dangerous about C++. I'm going to Control Z all this and undo it. So I could just simply say cout right there. Why would anyone do this? Because you could send this to a file instead. So you're saying moose, show it on the output screen, or if I open a file and pass the handle to the file, then it would print out on the file the same way. All right. Hope you enjoyed that showing. Also, when you get a copy, this will be on Blackboard, the code. Change this into a switch statement. No one really types this. In fact, later I'll show you how to use a map, the STL map for this instead. Which would actually be status, comma, string, and we could have our list of variables. So as we'll take all of this stuff and we'll put it in here, list, and we'll be able to ask the list, convert sleep to a string, and it'll pop out with this. List, convert playing to a string, and it'll pop out with this thing. So we'll give it something called a value, a key, and then it'll return a value to me. And that's an STL. It's a little confusing to look at, but you can get the hang of it pretty quickly.